Hi, it's vlogging time again. I'm heading downtown, downtown Toronto. Probably take me about half an hour to get to the subway and then 40 minutes roughly to get down to Yonge Bloor, which is kind of central downtown. So we'll catch up there or on the way. It's about 30, 31 degrees right now. Pretty humid, and so I'll need to get the air conditioning on in the car. Catch up. So I've parked the car, that cost $5, and I'm just heading over to the subway where we'll head downtown. Took a bit longer than I expected as I had to get gas. Somebody else had been driving my car, and construction on Yonge Street. So we'll catch up on the way. Bye. So we're at Yonge Bloor Street, and you can actually stay inside these buildings underground and travel some distance around the downtown core, and it's all air conditioned, which is excellent on a day like today. And in the winter you can escape from the bitter cold down here. So we're heading west along Bloor Street from Yonge Street. An interesting story for you is I have an iPhone 6, and a few weeks back it started giving me difficulty getting it started. When it eventually would start, it would fade out, and this was repeat every time I turned it on or off. So I went to the Apple store and they said, oh well, it could be the battery, it could be this, could be that. You know, maybe the best idea is to get a new phone. Now, granted, they did suggest that I contact my provider, who is Rogers, to try and get a better deal. So I left it at that. I went to my local fix-it guy, and he had a look at it. He said, I think it's your screen, so leave it with me and I'll call you back. So he did, and I said to him, well, how much is that going to be? He said, well, about $80. And I said, yeah, go ahead, come back in about 3 hours. He said that, and I did that, and you know, it was working perfectly. He said yeah, for sure it was a screen, I had to replace it. It lost its touch, and now it's running perfectly. You won't get any problems with it. You might want to have a little screen protector on this. I said, sure, how much do I owe you? He said, well, in cash that would be $80. So there you go, there's a lesson. Don't believe what Apple tell you. In fact, there was an article on Canadian TV. They did an investigative report with Apple, and on this very subject. So they took an iPhone into the Apple store, said they had problems starting it, etc. They had a look at it and said, oh yeah, it could be this, could be that. That might cost you $400, $500, $600, and you know, otherwise it's a new phone. So the investigative journalist then went to the local Mr. Fix-It store, and he said, oh, I know what that is. It's a little tab inside, and sometimes it comes loose. So if I'm able to get it back into position, that should take care of it. And sure enough, that's what it was. So once again, another case of don't believe what the Apple store tell you, because they're in the position now where they have to sell iPhones because they're losing part of the market, and they'll do anything to get you signed up for a new iPhone at $1,000 a crack. So phone's just like brand new, no problem. And yeah, that was great. So keep it in mind if you have a problem with your iPhone.
One sausage per every other joint. Yeah.
So I think I've shown you this area before. In fact, I was down here for the Prostate Cancer Classic Car meet, and it was fantastic. So you get all the high-end stores down here coming up Holt Renfrew. It's a nice place to come for a walk on a nice day. Do a bit of window shopping. There's Harry Rosen, that's a nice men's store, not cheap. So there's a nice view looking back at the corner of Yonge and Bloor Street. That big brand new building. Very expensive condos up there. And straight ahead is the Royal Ontario Museum. We don't have time to go in there today, but we will another day. So there you go, it's all about love. So here we are at Avenue Road and Bloor Street, and that's the Royal Ontario Museum. I have a pass to go in there and try to go in every time there's a new exhibit. It's good value. I can take a friend or family down. And in the distance is downtown and the provincial parliament buildings. Great sort of geodesic, challenging geometry, hips and valleys on that structure there. They did a great job building it into the more sort of traditional type of architecture. And there's a tourist bus. It's always worthwhile taking that. Get a good idea of what the city's like on an overall basis. Try to do that everywhere we go. Hop on and hop off. Just a few blocks west of Yonge Street on Bloor, and I'm going into Tim Hortons for a coffee. It's a soccer stadium, or was a soccer stadium. A great location. Unfortunately they didn't develop it as a stadium. It would have been a great location for any of the big events that would come to the city. So we're heading west here along Bloor, and there's the CN Tower in the distance. Always worth a visit if you get to Toronto. So I'm going along here to a pub called the Madison, and the Madison shows football games or soccer games live from the UK, and I'm going to watch one of those games, so we'll sign off now and we'll catch up later. On a hot day like today, you've got to have an ice cap mocha. $3.25 from Tim Hortons. Great value. We're back at Yonge and Bloor. Unfortunately, there's been a power outage on the main north-south subway line, and as you can see, the place is just packed. So we're waiting on buses to transfer us north by a couple of subway stations, and where we'll be able to up the subway up to the end of the line. Bit of a disaster. Oh well, just have to wait it out. So remember to give us a thumbs up and a subscribe if you've enjoyed this vlog today, and we'll do some more at another time.
Everybody back up, please. 1 foot back.